Hello, happy Wednesday to you AFC Bournemouth fans, and with me is a face that I'm sure you'll recognise. It's Mr. Jimmy Glass. How are you, sir? You alright?
Good, yeah, thanks, sir.
So we're at Wimborne Town Football Club. Now, you were at the club for a long time, once as a player. I'll always remember that stunning performance you had against Bristol City in the FA Cup, 3-1. I think you got man of the match, didn't you, for that?
I did get man. It's the first time I ever played live on Sky Sports, actually, so it was so I always like to try and entertain. So yeah, no, it was a big game for me, that one, for Bournemouth. I can't remember how many games I played in total, but I love my time at Bournemouth playing. It's met some great friends. Obviously, the club's very close to my heart from being a player, and then I had the opportunity to come back and work with Eddie again, you know, in 2016. So no, it's been. I've enjoyed my second spell at Bournemouth as well. And
you did a few things in between. I'm sure you've been asked about that goal loads of times. I'll spare you with that because I've seen you've done interviews aplenty. But look, you're at Wimborne Town now. Tell me about the move, because you were up in the restaurant doing the hospitality. You were, chatting to the guests that they had in, and once I did win one of the quizzes, by the way, when I came, so I was well chuffed with that. But what brought you to Wimborne Town then?
My role at Bournemouth was quite varied. I went back to be the player liaison for Ed, which in the end involved lots of different aspects. Organising logistics for the team off the pitch, integrating with the rest of the club as well, and trying to help install Eddie's way of doing things around the club, and we were really successful for many years, so I enjoyed that immensely. The hospitality side was what first brought me back, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the restaurant, the top floor restaurant, and tried to give it a more football feel, a little bit of banter and a little bit of fun, and that again was great for me to do. But I just felt it was time for me for a change. I've been back at the club 8 years, and I just felt it was time for a change. Obviously, I grew up with players like Ed and JT and Perchy. Fletcher's still there, obviously, but people like Tinney I knew from my playing days. So, when I worked with them, it was a very different scenario to when they left. But I've got nothing but praise for Bournemouth. The board and Neil Blake have been nothing but great to me, so I'm very respectful of the club. But I just felt it was time to look for a new challenge, and it came about because the new owner, potentially is probably the right word to put him, in Wimborne Town, and I sat down. We were talking about something completely different, and I was talking to him about Bournemouth and my role at Bournemouth over the years, and he was telling me about this passion that he's developed for Wimborne Town Football Club. And I had friends that were involved with the club, and they've been telling me for a couple of years, come down and have a look, because they've got this new stadium being built for them. And at the end of that conversation, he basically offered me a job, essentially as general manager, because the club's got great aspiration. The new owner's has got plans to take what is already a fantastic facility and a fantastic opportunity, and make it even better.
So, Jimmy, this pitch then, is this 100% grass, or is there some artificial, mixed in, or is this just completely grass?
Yeah, it's 100% grass.
Oh, lovely.
The plan is, when the stadium was built in 2020, the developer, obviously, they brought someone in to lay the pitch. If I'm truly honest, they didn't do a wonderful job, the people who laid the pitch. So over the last 2 or 3 years, it's taken a bit of time to bed in, and that's quite common, I suppose. The drainage is getting better and better. As you can see, though, plenty of grass on it. Our groundsman Steve Berry works alongside Ian at Bournemouth as well, so they're very close. So he can tap into Ian's expertise, and Ian likewise with Steve. Steve's been cutting grass and looking after pitches for a long time. But no, it's a very, very good pitch. At this level, it's a fantastic pitch. And one of the issues with that is that obviously when teams come here to play us, for them it's like their cup final. Yeah. But that's all part and parcel of being successful, and we have to take that on the chin. Our home form is superb this season. We've not been beaten at home. We've been very, very good away. We had a loss on Saturday away at Bideford, which wasn't ideal, because our plan is to obviously get out of this league and get back into the Southern Premier this season. But it's not an easy league to get out of, and the team and Tim Seals are doing excellent work at the moment. But to be fair, when you're playing on a pitch like this every other week, You know, it does make football much better. You know, we have a 4 or 5 year plan to play much higher. I'm going to say the plan is the National League. If we fall short and we're in National South, so be it. But the facilities here, the people here, and hopefully what I can bring to the club should hopefully, you know, make that plan a reality.
And the facility here is absolutely fantastic. How long have Wimborne been playing at the New Cuthbury?
Well, it was built for them. So basically, the story is essentially that White Homes wanted to build homes over the other side of Wimborne on the ground, which is by the river. In order to do that, the council said, "Okay, that's fine, but you've got to build the football club a new stadium." So that's very lucky for Wimborne Town. You know, the old club had great history and was a wonderful place over the years for people to go and play football. And obviously they won the Milk Cup in '92, and you know, people remember those days at Wimborne. But kind of as it over the past sort of 10 years, it's very hard to maintain old clubs. And they've basically been given a new lease of life with this brand new facility, which they moved into in 2020. It's taken a few years to bed in. But they built a brand new 3G pitch alongside the main pitch. That if I tell you the setup here, there's 34 youth teams, there's 7 development squads. We have an academy now where lads do their BTEC 2-year BTEC course. We've got 16 this year. Next year we'll have another 24. We have ladies team as well that's successful, that's doing very well in their league. We have some girls teams. You know, Wimborne as a football club is growing immensely, and the plan is to take the opportunity it's been given, because it is an opportunity. When someone comes along, builds you a new ground, it's a great opportunity. Not sit back on the laurels and take it forward, and that's the plan here at Wimborne Town.
So next door, I think I can hear the 3G pitches. Is this where the first team train?
It is, yeah. So basically, a couple of directors of the club had the opportunity when the stadium was built to invest some more money and build the 3G. As you can see, we've got Matty Holmes there, ex-Bournemouth player. He runs our academy and our youth section with Terry Waltridge, who was also involved with Bournemouth over the years. And he's got a soccer school. Every school holidays we have a soccer school on. But generally speaking, from 3 o'clock onwards, most days this 3G is full. All weekend it's full with bookings. It's a great...
so we can book this out then if it, you know, like anyone that wants
to play?
You
can. But all I'll say is it's booked out. You know, it's a great revenue earner for the club.
Is it booked out for both 11-a-side and 6-a-side or 7-a-side, whatever people want to play?
It's because it's slots essentially, but you can go onto our website and you can click onto it. It links you across to our 3G website. But it's a fantastic facility, and there aren't many facilities like this around. There are more popping up as we go along. But you know, from a booking point of view, we're really strong. But if anyone does want to inquire, then speak to Claire, who deals with the 3G bookings, and we might have slots available.
I feel as though I should be in my shirt and tie now, because I'm actually in the boardroom at the moment, and the facility that's here, you've got the clubhouse next door, and we're just looking at images of the pitch as well. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's a pitch that's going to be played on today by the AFCB Academy, the development side, and they've played a couple of times here before as a trial, but now it's something that's going to be happening a bit more at the New Cuthbury. How did that come about? Because that's a really good link to have, isn't it?
Well, it is. So basically, the academy needed a pitch to play on. They've now joined the Professional Development League because of the new training ground is being built. It meant that the Premier League would let them join the Professional Development League, and in order to do that, they have to then have certain criteria stadium to play in. So they needed somewhere more suitable. Wimborne really is the only place around with a grass pitch and the facilities to match that. So I've been in talks with Sam Gisborne and the academy for a little while, and they showed interest. We looked at it as a club, and we felt it was a really good opportunity for us to form a strong link and a strong bond with AFC Bournemouth. You know, my plan is to make this club the next biggest team outside of AFC Bournemouth in the area. That's the plan. Now, if I and the Wimborne board can achieve that, then it's a phenomenal thing for AFC Bournemouth as well, because if we can get the club into the National South or National League in the next 4 to 5 years, it's a great asset to the Bournemouth Academy, the Bournemouth Development Squad. to have a National League or National League South team, you know, even a Southern Premier League team 2 miles down the road from their new training facility. So for me, it felt like a perfect match.
And can this tie-up help on the pitch as well? You've had various AFC Bournemouth players like Billy Terrell play at Wimborne Town before, and more, of course. Will this help on the pitch as well?
That's the plan. In essence, it's great for us because we can maybe tap into some academy players and some development players over the coming seasons to strengthen our squad at the right times. For Bournemouth, it's a great asset because sometimes they need to get their players out and playing men's football. Again, National South, National League football is great for their development. So for me, I just see it as a great synergy. You know, it's 2 clubs. I obviously care deeply about Bournemouth, and now I'm looking to try and improve Wimborne in a way that they can be sustainable and be a successful club going forward into the future as well. So for me, it's a great opportunity. It's a great project in some ways. I know it's probably the wrong word to use, but I want to try and build something for Wimborne that will both help Wimborne and AFC Bournemouth, and that's why I sort of took a plunge and made the move.
Can we talk about the size of this scoreboard? Now, for this, that seems like a huge scoreboard. Well, for non-league, it's pretty decent, isn't it?
It's something we're very proud of.
Yeah.
We put in last season. England and the company obviously sponsored it. It's what Wimborne represents now. Now we're going to do what is best practice, and this is what I learned from Eddie at Bournemouth, and this is how Bournemouth works over the years. We're going to go for best practice. So everything we do will be what's the best we can achieve. Now, as you can see, the facilities, the clubhouse facilities, and the changing block up there, everything can be grown as well. We've got down the end, we've got the stand at the end, but we've got space behind, so we can put an all-seater stand in as the club grows and the ground can grow.
So what's the drainage like? Because I know that some local clubs often have a lot of postponements when there's a fair bit of rain, but are you all right here?
Yeah, we're okay. Like I said, they didn't lay the drainage brilliantly, but we redid the goal mounts last year at great expense. That was the main problem. But it's actually held up really well because we've had some quite big downpours in the last couple of months, and Steve the groundsman is really happy with it. And it's an ongoing process. Now I think personally, with the success I'm hoping the club's going to have in the next couple of years, we'll be relaying the pitch and redoing it, and maybe even threading it, because the 20% plastic does help, does make it more robust.
So check out the website wimbornetownfc.co.uk to see when the next fixtures are. Now, of course, obviously there are sometimes it clashes with an AFC Bournemouth home game or away. Tell you what though, big local game on the 14th of November in the Dorset Senior Cup against Weymouth at home. That should be a good one. Get down there because it's a cracking atmosphere. Can you have a beer whilst watching the game here?
The beauty of this league at the moment, and probably another league above, is that you can have a beer outside. You can take your plastic glass outside and you can watch it. Our crowds have gone up. We had 739 people here on last home game against Bristol Manor Farm. When we played Torquay in the FA Cup qualifying rounds, we had 1,852 people in the ground, which is the biggest gate they've had in nearly 30 years.
Wow.
So I think everybody is now understanding that Wimborne is a great place to come and watch football, and certainly when Bournemouth are away, our hope is that with this connection with the club, the Bournemouth fans will know they've got somewhere else to come and watch as well. It's a great place to come. Yeah. It's a real community club. You know, there's some wonderful people at the football club that put many years into helping the club, saving the club at times. And now I'm hoping they get their just desserts and Wimborne Town grows. And our connection with Bournemouth is really important to us.
So here's the home dugout here. Do you ever get frustrated and just want to be in here yourself and have a word with the boys if you can personally? Or
well, one of the things, because my role at AFC Bournemouth wasn't that of football, although I was out on the training pitch a lot of the time, generally diving around in goal for Eddie because he'd run out of goalkeepers for his training sessions. So he'd always put me in the goal where there was a 6-yard finish. You know, I think it made him chuckle that I'd be getting balls in the face and the bits. So yeah, no, I stay away from the football. I spoke to Tim when I first come and I said, I'm not here to manage, I'm not here to coach. You know, it's Tim's job, Tim Seal's job to organise the players, and and let them know when he's not happy. You know, I'll quietly have a word with Tim sometimes personally if I think there's something I want to add. But coaching was never my thing really. When I left football, I think because I personally didn't feel I accomplished everything I wanted to as a goalkeeper, and maybe didn't make the most of my career. If ever I saw a ball, I wanted to save it or score it still.
Yeah, and you're a decent striker actually. I've seen you up top before.
Well, it's probably no coincidence. The one thing I did in my career was score a goal, I think.
Just touching on AFC Bournemouth at the moment, it's been a tricky old start for them this season. The fixtures that they had at the start of the season weren't particularly great, but Bournemouth fans are now seeing some not so great performances in the last couple of games. Do you think things will turn?
Premier League's tough.
It is.
The Premier League is a very tough league. It's the best league in the world in my opinion. Obviously I was working very closely with Ed and the team over the years previous that we were successful and then not successful in the end. It's a tough league, you know. It's there's been a few changes at Bournemouth as well, so I think they'll be fine. I just think everyone's got to get behind the team, get behind the board, get behind the manager. You know, Bournemouth. You haven't got to look back far to remember the days when we were collecting money in buckets. I was one of those players, and the town came together to support the club and get it through its difficult times. And that's what the football club needs in the Premier League. There's no difference. They need their fans, they need their town to get behind them. Because the fact AFC Bournemouth are in the Premier League, for anyone that has got any sort of history of supporting AFC Bournemouth understands it's a wonderful achievement.
Yeah.
And it should be cherished. And even in times when the team that might not be winning on the pitch, it's still an unbelievable sight to see Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal all come into the Vitality Stadium, or Dean Court as some people will call it. So all I'd say is just get behind the team, get behind the manager, get behind the board, and get behind the chairman. You know, the chairman, Bill Foley's put his money where his mouth is. You know, and as a football fan, that's all you can ask for. If you try to find the problems, you'll always find problems if you look for them, but there's a lot of positives to focus on.
And just changing the subject a little bit, as a person who knows Eddie, a friend of Eddie, how proud are you to see what he's doing for Newcastle? It's phenomenal, isn't it?
Well, it's phenomenal unless you know him. And most of the Bournemouth fans know Eddie. They know him. They know what he does. They know what his work ethic is. They know how he handles the press. They know how he handles players. Eddie Howe essentially, you know, created the most successful period in Bournemouth's history. So Bournemouth fans should be surprised. I think at the end of his tenure at Bournemouth, I think he probably needed a break.
Yeah.
You know, the work he did was phenomenal and will take its toll on anybody. He stepped away. He looked at his life. He looked at his coaching. He looked at what his values were, and he's learned. And he's gone to Newcastle, a club that was crying out, a wonderful club that was crying out for someone to come, an honest manager, to come and get hold of some good players they had and just make them play for their club and play for their town, their city. Sorry, and that's what he's done. You know, and Eddie will do that. All Eddie can do is do his best, and for Newcastle, that's a wonderful, wonderful place to be because Eddie's best. He's phenomenal.
So today, then, at New Cuthbury, it's Bristol City who are coming in to play the AFC Bournemouth development side. In the meantime, we're going to have a look around the stadium. In terms of the minimum stadium requirement, should this club move forward, where's it at the moment if it was to get back-to-back promotions? Have you got enough seats? Is the floodlight lux high enough? What would need to be done?
Well, we're about to adjust the floodlight lux because of the Bournemouth development games. We want to improve that, so we're working on that currently. That should be in the next month. The stadium itself, you can take this stadium into the National South. I think you can see that where the stands are. We can add further seating along. The foundations for those seating stands are actually strong enough to take higher stands. Yeah. You've got this space here behind the stand to my right. This space that we can build, and we have plans. I won't tell you too much, but we have plans that we're in the early stages of creating. Hopefully, another aspect of the club that's going to create revenue for the club.
Wow.
It's got great facilities, but they can be improved, like everything. And my plan and the board's plan is to be able to create revenue Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Because that's how football clubs have to run. You know, you can't just wait for a Saturday and hope you get fans turn up and that's going to pay your bills. You know, the plan is to utilise this facility, make the most of it. We've got some space on it. You know, I've got a good relationship with the local council, which is really important. And they've just built, I think there's about 800 homes around us. So the idea is to tap into that revenue, give those guys somewhere to come and watch football and have a drink and maybe a roast dinner on a Sunday, and then Monday to Friday we can, you know, we can create other revenue streams as well. So it's really exciting times for Wimborne. I think everyone would agree to be in a position where someone builds you a ground and a facility like this is a wonderful thing, and it has to be, you have to be grateful for it. But the plan is then what can you do with it?
Yeah.
How far can you take it? And that's, if I'm honest, that's what brought me away from Bournemouth. It's an opportunity to grow and help grow Wimborne Town Football Club. Now, for me, and I said this earlier, this could be and probably should be the biggest club outside the Vitality in the area. And that's the plan over the next 4 to 5 years.
I'll tell you what, he's certainly wetting the whistle, isn't he? So I think it's time to have a look in the clubhouse. So there we go. This is decent size, isn't it?
It is.
How many people can you get in here then?
It's a good question. On a match day, we have 3 hospitality tables over the back there of 10 people. We've started doing, after the games, interviewing with the manager and interview with the man of the match, which I do on the mic, obviously, and the place fills up. And after the games, you literally, they're hanging from the rafters. You know, Wimborne's, it's a fantastic opportunity, and this is one of the main focus points for us to create revenue again Monday to Friday. We rent the space out. It's a function room. We rent it out. We have Dorset Police come in. We have the NHS. We have British Gas. We've had lots and lots of bookings since I've been here alone, and I know they had before that. And again, the plan is to maximise revenues. We have a fully stocked bar, pool table. We have Sky and BT on the TVs. It's a wonderful space. Again, it can be improved like everything. We're looking to improve it, but for now, for Wimborne Town fans, before and after the games, it's a great space to be. 12:30 kick-off for the BT games, 5:30 for the Sky games. Hopefully Wimbledon have just won 4 or 5-0 at the same time. It's not a bad place to come on a Saturday.
That's it. Well, look, it looks like Wimborne Town are on the up. Let's see how the AFC Bournemouth development side get on today then. I think the team's coming out soon. What?
Also, you like rubbish.
Oh. Lovely little ball. Look who we've just found.
Oh, mate.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thank you. Feeling a bit old, am I?
3-2. It's been a good half, mate, hasn't it? Talk me through the half. 3-0 to Bournemouth.
Yeah. Oh, easy. No, we I think they've got some experienced players playing, and they started quite well, and I thought this is going to be a tight one, and then our quality shone through. I was really impressed with some of the football. Kingsley Wellens at the back, who's the skipper, playing with Greenwood. They've been mustered. Nice to see Gavin in there, isn't it? Nice to see Gavin there. And yeah, some of the quality, Adu J up top. I like Torre Williams, really good player. So yeah, it's good. I just thought, you know what? I fancy 3 points. I'm going to go and watch a game where I can get 3 points. So last year was West Ham away. So I thought on my birthday this year, I'm going to watch the team play some football and win together. I'll tell you what, it's been quite rock and roll.
Yeah, it has been rock and roll. And look, we could talk you through the goals, but we were in the clubhouse just behind us there. It was beautiful. Had a couple of beers.
I'll tell you what, there's some celebs about as well. Sean O'Driscoll's there.
Sean O'Driscoll?
The main man, yeah. Sean O'Driscoll's there. Yeah, we got nice for him. I don't know what he's doing at the moment, but yeah, Sean O'Driscoll's there, which is nice. But yeah, it's been a really good game, mate, and nice to see some good football.
Right,
It's been some really good football on the grass, play ball. It's been great. And I tell you what, Burnley, I'm Torre Williams in. Get him in the middle of the park. Just start playing. Let's start playing.
Do you want another birthday beer?
Yeah, let's go. Irrelevant will come good. Say did. He would then. He wouldn't go, I told you. He'd go, we said, didn't we? We said Andoli would come. Like, he makes you think that you're part of it.
And And back home. Look, the new Cuthbury is not quite Dean Court. However, what a facility it is. Thank you so much to Jimmy Glass for taking us around the facility and showing us about. I think it's clear to see that they've got aspirations beyond the level that they're at the moment. And what a facility. I remember the old Cuthbury with the sloping pitch. It was old and decrepit, but in the new place, I'm sure that they can absolutely flourish. And I think the tie-up that they've got with AFCB Academy as well, I think it could be really productive for not only them, but also for us as well. So look, when you get the chance to go down to the new Cuthbury, do go, whether it's to watch the development side or the Magpies. I think the first game where there's not a clash, November the 14th in the Dorset Senior Cup against Weymouth. Head on down there, but if you can't get yourself to a Cherries game, go watch the Magpies. You will probably enjoy it. And the Academy side, they flourished today. 4-0 winners over Bristol City. Look, I didn't film it like I would a vlog. However, like Ollie May, who's been on the channel before, he was filming the goals. So check it out on the website or the social media accounts. So it's good to bump into him, and also Neil Perrott as well, great to see him. A few staffers there, by the way. Neil Blake, Richard Hughes, Frano, Junior Stanislas, I think he's going to be involved in the future. Maybe they were just keeping a close eye on which the development side could be gracing a first team shirt at some point soon. You never know. But look, it's been a great day. Hopefully it's been a good day for Tom Jordan. I bought him a beer. I had to. It's his birthday, right? Happy 32nd birthday to you, Tom. You don't look a day over 42. It's fine. But if you could do him one birthday favour, it would be to like this video and subscribe. Because look, huge weekend ahead. Thursday, Friday, we're going to have an opposition preview and also our own preview against the Clarets in what is it's a must-win game, isn't it? But look, the development side maybe showed the first team a thing or two today. Some cracking football, fast-paced, free-flowing football, and a 4-0 win. Until the next time, up the Cherries, up the Magpies. We'll see you soon.